People have been propagandized to be suspicious of the profit motive. Let's say that everybody worked for either government or a nonprofit institution. Who would create the wealth? Since when is it a higher calling not to want to make a profit? Barack Obama, he wants to wreck the US economy in order to impose a socialist system. This is so ludicrous, and it is so destructive of the conservative cause. If you really believe that Obama wanted to wreck capitalism, why did he support TARP? AIG would have gone under, and that would have had a ripple effect that would have been devastating. Obama could have gone, I don't want to use taxpayer money to bail out these rich bankers who are taking these enormous bonuses, and it would have been very popular for him. He could have seen the economy collapse. It would have all been blamed on Bush. He comes in January 20th, and the entire economy is in wreckage, and he can start anew and impose his new socialist order. This is an anti-business administration. But I believe it's very, very important that we use language properly. The first big lie that I write about is the big lie. The current economic downturn demonstrates that capitalism is a malevolent, evil, exploitative, horrible system that is now irretrievably broken, and that we are going to move towards something new. If you look around the world, what you see is the advance of free market ideas and the advance of capitalism as a means of creating wealth and improving the lot of human beings everywhere. In the last 30 years, some 2 billion human beings have moved from abject poverty and literally starvation situations to living lives that can be described accurately as middle class, with choices. And that brings me to the second big lie, which is when the rich get richer, the poor get poorer. That if you believe that when the rich get richer, the poor get poorer, then you believe that creating wealth causes poverty. And you're an idiot. How has the success of Bill Gates impoverished anyone? A lot of rich executives from Boeing were moving from Seattle to Chicago. That means that there are more rich people who are out of here. Great! That means more money here in Seattle. Nonsense. People don't even believe it at their core. When a community welcomes new, wealthy, productive, creative people, it's good for everybody. The big lie suggests that you can rely on government to treat people more compassionately and more fairly than for-profit business. The idea that the profit motive is suspect is so stupid and so brain dead. When you go into a Starbucks, you are likely to get far better treatment than you will get at the DMV. Why are you going to get better treatment from that barista? Is it because that barista is a humanitarian and she cares about you and she's full of loving kindness? No, she wants a tip! That's perfectly reasonable. Also, there's a deeper reason. She wants you to come back to that Starbucks store. Otherwise, the Starbucks store will close and she will be out of a job. And the DMV, they don't care whether you come back or not. The notion that profit makes things worse, it doesn't. It makes things better. It gives you more accountability. When you're dealing with the government, you basically have only one choice: obey or go to jail. When you are dealing with the private for-profit economy, you have various choices. You can buy or not buy. You can buy from this one or buy from that one. And the notion that somehow a government with no accountability, except every couple of years at election time, is going to work better than a for-profit market system with daily accountability when you make market decisions every day is a moronic notion that doesn't hold up in the real world. And at the very end of this writing process, I found this wonderful article that was written by Andrew Carnegie. Came to this country incredibly poor. His family had absolutely nothing, and became, by some calculations, the richest man who ever lived, and then proceeded to give most of it away. And he recalled being age 12. The father wasn't at home, all kinds of hardships. He had to go to work, and he had to go to work in very uncomfortable circumstances. And he talks about the first payment that he got for his first week of work, which was $1.25. But it included handing him his first dollar. And he talks about what that dollar meant to him. And he says in the article, it wasn't what that dollar could buy me or could buy my family. It didn't make that much of a difference to us. But it made a difference to me. It signified, he writes, my entrance into manhood. Because that dollar was a sign I was useful to someone else. That connection between people who are useful to one another, who reward one another by paying money, that's the beauty of our free market system. It is under assault. and it must be protected. And the way to begin that process is to expose and to answer with argument and information the 5 big lies about American business and the persistent lies about this greatest nation on God's green earth.